This course will train you, even you, on how to be a snitch. A contact tracer. You can take it too. Yeah, man. Johns Hopkins University. Oh, man. Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health unveiled a course on the online platform Coursera, to teach Americans the fundamentals of contact trace. Hey, some people don't really need a course on how to be a snitch. Contact trace. They tell on people all day. You know what I mean? The motivation for this course is to be able to provide a good, solid, basic training for the workforce that needs to scale up very rapidly. Why? Why does the workforce need to scale up? What workforce need to scale up? Let's back it up. This is an article from the Washington Post. We're about to just, drop on some stuff that, look, I'd rather talk about all kind of other stuff. You know what I mean? But overstanding, man, that, we need to know what's going on. We need a foundation. We need a perspective. Love to my bro AD, man. I talk to my bros, and man, I ain't feel like talking about this shit no more, man. This shit puts a knot in my stomach. I don't even want to talk about it. I don't talk about this HR this and HR that. But you know what, man? We gonna do it, man. Love to the bro AD. He convinced me, man. He said, look, man, we need this perspective, bro. We need, Drop Nation needs our own perspective of all this, wing wham. I appreciate you, bro. Let's go. The nation needs a sprawling network of contact tracers to track and halt the COVID. The disease caused by the novel tenderoni. Public health expert estimates that an effective tracking system will require at least 15 tracers per 100, 15 snitches per 100,000 real ones. Okay, that's all they need. And in the hardest hit regions, a workforce twice that size. So they've already set up the narrative that we are going to be the hardest hit regions, right? The Negro, the Naga is the hardest hit, right? That's what they're saying, right? We're the face of the tenderoni now, right? About 3.7 billion will be needed to cover the work and 100,000 tracers. So they already passed that or they at least introduced the HR 6666, right? We're about to dig on that. And they're allocating about 100 billion to this. So they're saying 3.7 will be needed to cover the work of 100,000 tracers. They just told you they needed 15 tracers per every 100,000 Americans, right? Are we good at mathematics? Are we good at problem solving equations? All right. So if you need 15 tracers per every 100,000 Americans in the hardest hit regions. So really, these Americans are the real Americans, right? The copper colored races found here. We're really talking about the copper colored races right now. All they got to do is turn 15 snitches out, right? But they already turned themselves out, right? So they're going to sign up for this because they're going to have a job. This is happening, my people. We're going to talk about this Tenderoni app. All right. And then we're going to bring it back to the HR 6666. Super fast. Let's go. So 3.7 billion is needed to cover the workforce of 100,000 tracers. So these 100,000 tracers, they said 15 per 100,000, man, Americans, right? So do the math, man. 15 for every 100,000 Americans, and they needed 100,000 tracers at least. And that's going to be 3.7 of the billion that's being allocated probably out of that same HR 6666, or they got a whole nother thing for this. All right. To that end, on Monday, Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health unveiled a course on online platform to teach Americans the fundamentals of this contact tracing. The motivation for doing this course, like I said, is all that wing wham. They say, oh, the good. Really, they just want, people snitching in the neighborhood. They want people snitching in the neighborhood. Privacy, medical ethics, virology, interview techniques are included in a 6-hour package. Virology, the study of viruses, how to say, oh, he's sneezing. That person in that house is sneezing, y'all. Contact. And it's available free, guys. It's a free course, man. You can take it here All you gotta do is sign up. Contact tracers notify possibly infected individuals and map their exposures to other people. All right. Got it. So basically what we got is if they think you might be possibly affected, they snitch and they map it on there, put it on their little map, and then this is what they send to the government, right? So they are also a link between the public health system and communities. Oh, we can go to the snitches for help. Got you. Contact tracers are in part detectives. I didn't expect y'all to spell it out, but let's spell it together. DETECTIVE. Detective. You're cops. You're cops, man. You just cops with a new label, a new title. You ain't got to go to the boot camp. You could do all this shit online. It's beautiful, right? Earn some extra money, right? Because all they need to do is turn out 15 out of every 100,000. And you already got that. You got way more than that. You got way more snitches than that in the neighborhood, right? So they're going to get that. They get to their goal of 100,000 tracers at least. Man, I mean, if that covers 100,000 and that 10 or 15 is going to cover what? Millions and millions, right? But of course, you're going to have way many more snitches. So I'm going to leave this link. And yeah, man, I mean, this ain't no joke. They're signing up. They're signing up for this again because the contact tracers are part detective. I can't make this up. They're part detectives, part therapist, part social worker. We're not cool with we're not cool with any of these people in the hood right now. We ain't cool with the social worker, the detectives, none of this stuff, man. The train of transmission snaps if contagious people are isolated before they infect others, blah, blah, blah. All right, so we know these contact tracing, so-called. Now, Germany ain't even playing. Germany already rolling this shit out, right? German lockdown, snitches. Snitches spark hot debate. So we ain't fucking around playing with y'all. Germany already is unloading the snitches, right? They're sparking hot debate. On Sunday, sunny Sunday, April 20. In April, 20 people were enjoying a barbecue in the city of Schwerin in North Germany. The police promptly intervened, slapping them with a fine for breaking new social distancing rules to limit the spread of this tenderoni. All right. They were also alerted to the festivities by a neighbor. All right. So they got snitched on by a contact tracer, right? By a neighbor, outraged by such behavior, who also proceeded to boast about her efforts on social media, opening up heated debate about the return of denunciation to Germany and whether it is acceptable in the current crisis. Telling on your neighbors is a highly sensitive subject in a country still haunted by memories of Nazism. The term denunziant snitch has been trending on Twitter, fueling ever more references to the Third Reich. All right, because this is what they did before they got snitches in the hood, man. This is old shit. All this appears to confirm a deep-seated prejudice that Germans have against themselves, that when in doubt, a part of the population is willing to become an extension of state power. So when you signing up for this contact tracing, all right, you are now an extension of the state power, or you become a detective, right? You become a part of their power system against your people that don't want nothing to do with none of this hijack, none of this setup, and none of this bullshit more than ever. You think this is play, my naga? This is another link from Wired.com. Health officials say no thanks to contact tracing tech. Yeah, Silicon Valley companies have proposed automating the arduous task of identifying people potentially exposed by this tenderoni. They're finding a few takers. So now, not only do you got the snitches in the hood, but you also got an app for that, my naga. Google announced 3 weeks ago that they development software to help fight this tenderoni. It was a big deal. The tech giants are fierce competitors. They rarely cooperate. Oh, they're going to cooperate for this. They're going to do a treaty against you for sure. And together, their software controls about 3 billion smartphones, equal to almost 40% of the world's population. It seems clever, assuming the privacy implications will be worked out. The software would silently keep track of people, my noggin. So these are apps. This is software in your phone. Already, they're already keeping track of you, but this is specific to the tenderoni, right? The software would silently keep track of people who'd been near someone who tested positive. So silently. So if you might not even know that you came near somebody at the park, all right, that it was positive, but now this software has you labeled and listed. And then you add the snitches to this shit, all right? The idea was to automate part of the laborious process of contact tracing, right? Which public health officials use to stem the spread of the infections, blah, blah, blah. Thorough contact tracing, they say, is crucial. Whatever, all right? Software developers flock to tap the new Apple Google compatibilities. The state of Utah accelerated its work with 20, a small New York City-based social media app developer. Citizen, the developer of a public safety app with 4 million users nationwide, added a contact tracing function to its app, though it is not activated. Come on, man. Just because they say it ain't activated, don't mean it ain't activated. And Utah's interesting because Salt Lake City is rolling out that 5G. So most likely they're hitting up Salt Lake City. I mean, we just talking Utah, right? But of course, man, you gotta dodge all hijacks at all costs. And why not cities and states? Well, hold on, let's back it up. All right, so a zero or a group of about 200 developers and marketers, including one of the developers, are traced together Singapore's contact tracing app. So Singapore got an app for that. Germany's rolling out this stuff, right? The UK's rolling out this stuff. America's rolling out this stuff, right? Cities and states, we're talking about hiring tens and thousands of tracers, all right, to manually reconstruct the movements of the COVID patients. But it wasn't clear how these people could be hired and trained quickly enough. It wasn't clear how these people could be hired and trained quickly enough. I don't know. They may have to start hiring right away. You know what I'm saying? If you want them to be hired quickly and for free and on the low, I mean, we're talking about on the low scope. Again, man, this is from the Washington Post, right? The Army is going to train an army. They're talking about an army, y'all. Let's get it. Because all this has to, snap you out of this complacency. You know what I mean? We'll train an army, my naga. So how they going to do this training so quickly, my naga? Oh, it's very simple. John Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health is already unveiling the course for the contact tracing. Got it. Okay. All right. So now we see how this army is being raised up. But it wasn't clear how these people could be hired and trained quickly enough to be useful. The Apple Google software has the potential to do some of the same work effortlessly at a fraction of the cost. So they're competing as to how effective, they can roll out their snitching software or snitching people or put them all together. So far as at least the pandemic response has become a bitter lesson in everything technology can't do. An example of Silicon Valley's legendary myopia. States like New York, California, Massachusetts, Baltimore, Frisco have looked carefully at cutting edge contact tracing solutions and largely said, no thanks, not now. Are they just talking about the application, or would they rather roll out the actual people? So just because they say no thanks, do you really mean no thanks? Or you mean, we're going to roll out these people and then say, fuck it? Because this shit is already programmed, even though they say it's not turned on yet. Even though they say it's not turned on yet. It's not super complicated to understand why technologists are having a hard time getting traction. Traditional contact tracing has been honed over decades. What? Traditional contact tracing? So this has nothing to do with the tenderoni. They've been doing this, my naga, for decades. They're just using the tenderoni as the platform to navigate this thing, right? They're just saying, oh, you never heard of contact tracing? How about quarantine? Have you heard of that? Oh yeah, because this is all popping off for decades, man. Decades. You're talking about responding to outbreaks, but these are outbreaks they're causing, doing the beta testing, all on us. In theory, the Google app tech and similar approaches can automate and greatly spread where we at? Greatly speed the process of identifying contacts, my nigga. Speed the process of snitching. All right. Because remember, Germany ain't playing. Germany ain't playing. They already letting you know. German lockdown, snitches, spark hot debate. So these are called lockdown snitches. All right. These are not called contact tracers. When you sign up for this is called lockdown snitching. All right. And all this connects back to this document that I'm sure you've seen blasted all over the place. This HR 6666 scenario to authorize the Secretary of Health and Human Services. All right, same folks we've been talking about the app with the technology, with the free applications and free classes and courses for you to become a snitch. All right, to authorize the Secretary of Health and Human Services to award grants to eligible entities. Who's the eligible entities to conduct diagnostic testing for this Roni and related activities? What's that? Such as contact tracing. Oh, so all this has to do with the snitching application, the snitches for hire, and the billions of dollars they're putting into this. Remember, they said 3.7 billion is their goal, right? 3.7 billion, is that what they said? Right. 3.7 billion will be needed to cover the work of 100,000 snitches. And all you need is about 15 snitches for every 100,000 people. Got it. Contact tracing through mobile health units. What's the mobile? We're talking about the mobile phone, the mobile applications as necessary at individuals' residences. Which places are they going to go? Because we just said they want to come to what environments? The hardest hit regions. What's the hardest hit regions? Whoever's the face of the tenderoni. So that's you, black man. You, black sister. Because that's what they want you to be. They want you to snitch on your own people. I mean, that's always been the case, right? So these individuals' residences as necessary and for other purpose. I mean, what nefarious situation it is, what other purposes. So you see all this is related to everything that's being rolled out. And this is why we say separate from this system, separate from this energy, start to build your own environment, start to build your own natural, your own normal. They're going to make a new normal for you anyway. This was just introduced May 1st, just this month, my nigga. All right, so to authorize the state secretary or Secretary of Health and Human Services to award. All right, so we just said all that. Now check it, man. I mean, I'm gonna leave this for you. Of course, they're talking about this Trace Act, right? This testing, reaching, and contacting or snitching on everybody. Snitching on everybody. Mobile health units. You see all this stuff. Quarantine, hire, train, compensate, and pay expenses of individuals. Who you hiring? Who you training? Who you compensating? The snitches got you. So they got to pay for that to purchase personal protective equipment. Oh, some more guns and stuff. Got you, got you. I mean, you read it, man. Everybody's been breaking this down, but this is our perspective on it. You already know. It's right here in your face bone. Nonprofit. Okay, okay. Yeah, man. High schools, elementaries. I mean, just look at the keywords, man. I'm just scrolling the keywords. The term hotspot means a geographical area where a rate of infection with the virus exceeds national average. So the same hotspots, my naga, the same hotspots are the same hardest hit regions. And who's on the hot seat? Huh? Who's on the hot seat? The Naga's on the hot seat. The term secretary means Secretary of Health. And look at this, $100 billion for the fiscal year 2020, all to fund not just the snitches, but all the applications, all the technologies, all their extra equipment, all their guns to step on our streets, my naga. all the guns to step on our streets. So you recon this further. You look into this further if it matters to you. And it's time to start getting out of these areas if you can. It's tribing up if you can. And everybody can. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can tribe up in one way or another and, create a better reality. Don't say you can't do it. Don't say you won't do it. Because literally, they're coming to your doorstep, my naga. Literally, they're coming to your residences at the hot spots, right? At the hot spots, man. And you are the hot. You're the hotness. You're scorching. But right now, we're the frog in the pot. And even though we're the hot spots, we're the frog in the pot. And the pot's been heating up, and it's time to jump out this joint, man. It's time to pop off this joint. And you've seen this good bro right here, this Dr. Richard A. Batar. Ahab to everybody sending me this drop. Everybody who sent me this HR 6666 drop. I appreciate all y'all. It's been a lot of y'all, so this is why I'm dropping on it. And let's just get this piece right here. It's like a 9-minute piece for the Dismount by Dr. Richard Butler or Batar. Let's go.
All right, let's try this again. Hopefully this is working. I don't know exactly what happened, but regardless, somebody tell me if I've got a sound. Somebody can tell me. Anybody, just post something. Nia, can you go to advancedmedicine.com and you'll see the live stream coming through there? And you should be able to see if people are saying that it's coming through just on the homepage, advancedmedicine.com. If I've got confirmation, as soon as I have confirmation that you guys can hear me, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to tell you this. This is something that wasn't planned. You see anybody saying that they're hearing me? They hear me Instagram? Well, Instagram will, but they again, live stream? Got it? Good. Okay, perfect. So
Let go. All right, let me skip ahead a little bit, man. They let me. They ain't gonna let me skip, but we got it.
All right, let's try this again. Hopefully this is working. I don't know exactly what happened, but regardless, somebody tell me if I've got a sound. Somebody can tell me. Anybody, just post something. Nia, can you go to advancedmedicine.com and you'll see the live stream coming through there? And you should be able to see if people are saying that it's coming through just on the homepage, advancedmedicine.com.
I'm just going to let it play, man. It's going to be some great information.
If I've got confirmation, as soon as I have confirmation that you guys can hear me, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to tell you this. This is something that wasn't planned.
He's been getting out this drop, though. So that's why we got to be patient and dig on it.
You see anybody saying that they're hearing me? They hear me Instagram? Well, Instagram will, but they again, live stream? Got it? Good. Okay, perfect. So everybody can hear me. Thank you guys for tuning in. You guys got to let everybody know this message that I'm about to give you because this is something that I just found out. It's beyond belief. This is regarding a House resolution that was initiated on May 1st of this year, like 4, 5, 6 days. Well, I don't even know what day it is right now, but it was May 1st introduced into the U.S. Congress. It's a House resolution 6666. That is not an exaggeration. I have no idea how this works, but this is what the actual House resolution number is, 6666. And I'm going to read you what that House resolution is. Please make sure that you pass this on to every single person that you know. I don't care whether you're in the United States or not. You got to get this information out. House Rule 66 or House Resolution 6666 is for COVID-19 testing, reaching, and contacting everyone act. The acronym is TRACE Act. Again, TRACE Act stands for Testing, Reaching, and Contacting Everyone. It was introduced by Bobby Rush, who is a Democrat from the state of Illinois. And they have introduced this bill into the House, and they're going to roll this out from a testing standpoint in Ventura County, California, which happens to be where I'm at right now.
Okay.
And I couldn't believe that I heard this, but basically this act is to allow individuals to come into your house, and if you've got a cough or somebody in your family has a cough, or you have a fever or anything that they determine that shows that you have COVID-19, regardless of if you've been tested or not. They will also test people, but remember that testing already has been shown to be there to be a high rate of false positives. False positives meaning you don't have COVID-19, but the test shows it's false positive. It's showing up as positive, so they call it a false positive. We already know from the studies previously done as far back as 1984, but as recently as 2018, that individuals that did not have COVID-19 or coronavirus, even in the cat model, cats that had never been exposed to coronavirus, tested positive if they had had a flu shot, if they had the trivalent or the covalent flu shot. And we don't know about the H1N1 shot. We don't know about the herpes zoster shot, the shingle shot. There's many other vaccines that people have gotten. We have no idea if people are going to be testing positive, have false positives based upon those tests. So the point is that the chance of them testing someone and them being positive is pretty doggone high, even if the person doesn't have COVID-19. But they're going to use that to pull you or your loved ones, especially your children, away under pretense of public safety. They're going to say that your child has to be removed from you because you have COVID-19, and so to protect your child, we're going to take that child, or we're going to take your grandmother or your father or you and put you into quarantine. This is a load of rubbish, because if you're in your home isolated, who are you going to expose? All right? And if they're going to try to take you away from your family, the chances of you having infected your family, even if you did really have COVID-19, is about 99.9%. So this is a bunch of BS. They're using this as an attempt to further divide us as individuals. They divided us from our friends, from our social circles. Now they're dividing us from our own family units. This is the most ominous sign so far that we've seen. I want you to all wake up. I want you to pass this information on. I want you to tell every single person that you know what's happening. If you're not in the United States, I don't care. It's coming to your country as well. And if you're in the United States, you need to contact your representatives. Right now, if you go to askdrbuttar.com/ask, right underneath my image, you'll see that link. Go to that website, follow the information that it's asking, enter that information in, and then you're going to be taken to a page. The first one is a petition. It's a petition about censorship against media that mainstream media has right now, as well as social platforms. Sign that petition. Second thing is a website, or is a link that'll take you to allow you to send any letter that you want to people to elected officials on the municipal level, on the state level, and on the federal level, and tell them that you violently oppose HR 6666. Every single person needs to do that right now. You don't have to even know your House members or your representatives or your governor or your mayor. You don't have to have any information. That link that we have, all you do is type in your name, your email address, and then click on your zip code, and it will automatically find your elected officials, and with one letter you'll get it to every single person. It's actually going to work for Australia, and it's also going to work I think Australia, UK, and Canada. I think it's coming down the pipeline. Right now it may only be working for the US, but our plan is within the next couple of days it will work for elected officials in Australia, in Canada, in the UK, and in the US. For right now, it's in the US. So write down that you oppose HR 6666, the TRACE Act, the testing. I'm so flustered right now, I can't even think what it was. The Testing, Reaching, and Contacting Everyone Act.
Trace, man. Trace. Right? It's all about the trace, man. You know, either we allow them to trace us with ease, or we start tracing our own, footsteps back to reality, back to our creator, and back to Hawaii. You got all the links. You got the drop. Love to AD for this drop, because And I was thinking about it, but the bro really, you know what I'm saying, convinced me, man, that, you know what I mean, let's go ahead and, you know, approach this particular topic, even if we're tired of talking about it, you know what I'm saying? And we're going to keep the drive flowing. Prester John's on the way. I appreciate y'all. Allah. Wow.